And welcome to Vaishya's YouTube channel and to the series of Indian Society Lecture Series. We are in the episode 14 of Indian Society Lecture Series. So, we have completed some topics in the last class. We have completed, I think, regionalism, right? We have completed the regionalism in the last class. Now, in today's class, we are going to start the entirely new concept in the Indian society part of GS1, that is women and women related issues. Like, we are going to discuss role of women and women organization from today. This is a very vast topic, but we cannot discuss each and every minute things in this topic, because most of these topics from this section is related to the current information. What you need to do, you need to get updated with the current data. What current data is required, which type of current data is required, will be known to you after listening to the classes of the women and women organization related classes of Indian society part from this series. Okay, I have tried to include some data, but sometimes this data is not enough. Sometimes this data is not relevant for some answers. So, whenever some news appears in the newspaper, if it is relevant to the topic of the syllabus, try to maintain the notes for the mains purpose. Try to maintain the notes for the dynamic concepts like this, so that it will be helpful to you to write answers in the um, exam hall. And the data which you are going to write related to women will also help you in essay related topics, because essay, one of the frequently asked topics, is women related topics. Okay, let's start now. So we are going to discuss role of women in women's organization. So I am giving you a situation, one scenario where a couple lives in your neighborhood. Think, a couple lives in your neighborhood, and the husband stays at home and takes care of the 2-year old daughter, and he cooks and manages other household chores, while the woman works in a bank as a manager. Okay, think the situation. Do this even surprise you? Maybe you're a UPSC aspirant, and this might not surprise you because you will not have that kind of stereotypes. But if you give this situation to some other people, they may get surprised. Okay, some people may get surprised because of the situation. What reactions do you expect to hear from people with respect to these kind of incidents? What is so unique about these events? Or I can ask you events that people have to express their surprise or pass such comments. Why cannot a man do the house chores? Why cannot a woman go and do her job outside while man is inside? These images or these situations, these scenarios will surprise people because they are contrary to the existing practices which they usually see in the society. They feel this is our culture, that women should take care of the household chores. Okay? This is nothing but the stereotypic images of men and women. And over a period of time, most people have come to accept it as a right image, but still, not 100% people are accepting it as a right image. People should change a lot. Education is required for it. Okay? Okay, that is the reason I can say that women can be described as a social category. Okay, right? This is something related to social issues. That's why it can be described as a social category. There are many issues regarding women. Like we know, there is a low access to productive resources to women. There is lack of medical facilities and lack of education for women. And employment is women are backward in the employment terms. And other social and economic discriminations are the issues regarding women. Okay, but women plays a very good role in the society, being a mother to the breadwinner. Some people are staying as a mother while being a breadwinner, but almost whatever it may be, they are subordinated to male authority in today's society. They are excluded from high status occupations, and they are excluded from the authority decision making. Okay, these are some of the issues regarding women. Through the recent debated debates, okay, we can take the two main positions of women. Two main positions have been emerged through the recent debates that we have seen regarding women. People say biologically and genetically based differences are there between men and women. We are differentiating men and women by biologically and genetically based differences. And the other one is a socially constructed power relations and are culturally determined. This is nothing but women are like subordinated by men because men are going to take the power. Women are always subordinated, and this position of women, that is the subordination of women from the men, is culturally determined phenomena. So these two positions of women in society can be emerged through the recent debates. Okay, now let's see the profile of women in India. India has actually slipped 28 places to the rank 140 among 156 countries in the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Report. So every year, World Economic Forum will release the gender gap report. So this is one kind of data that you need to write in your notebook. Whenever there is a women related issues, you can quote these kind of examples. In the recently published World Economic Forum, the Global Gender Gap Report of 2021, India ranked 140 and it has slipped 28 places out of 156 countries. And it has become the third worst performer in the South Asia. This is very uh, bad situation for women in India. According to report, India has closed 62.5% of its gender gap till date. So this is published published in the newspaper on 1st April 2021. This is a recent data. But when you're writing the exam, you might not have the recent data while seeing this video. That time what you need to do, go to the Google, search the recent report of gender gap report, or whenever you see in the news, write it in your notes. And if you see the other stats regarding the women profile, sex ratio and the mortality rate. We need to learn about the sex ratio, right? Mortality rate. What is sex ratio is a basic question. So whatever I'm going to teach you is a basic, and I'll be adding some statistics. It might not be enough or it might not be relevant when you're writing the exam. So that the basics are already known to you from the series, but what you need to do, you need to get updated with the recent statistics. That is the work you need to do. Okay, sex ratio is the number of females per thousand of males. For 1000 males, how many females are there? That is the sex ratio. If you see the 2011 census, sex ratio for India is 940 females. That means out of if 1000 men are there, out of 1000 men, there are only 940 female. Okay, it means women are 47% of the total population of India. They constitute 47%. And Haryana is the state with lowest sex ratio of 877, and Kerala has the highest sex ratio of 1084. Okay, it means 84 female are more when comparison to men out of 1000. So Kerala has a very good sex ratio, right? Coming to mortality rate, mortality rate is nothing but it measures the death rate. It is calculated annually for different age groups, and it is number of deaths per 1000 live births. For 1000 live births, how many deaths are there in that particular year is nothing but mortality rate. According to the data, there is high rate of female infant mortality and maternal mortality. If you take the recent statistic, we can say there is a high rate of female infants. In the infants, the mortality rate is high, and even in the maternal terms also, mortality rate regarding women is high. And if you see the life expectancy rate is nothing but it means the mean life length an individual is expected to survive given the prevailing mortality condition. So this is nothing but the expected life rate. This is nothing but life expectancy rate. Chances of longer life expectancy is higher among women during the older age, and whereas the younger years continue to have really high death rates. During the smaller ages, the death rate of females are really high, but when they are growing older, the life expectancy rate is getting increased further. This is because during their childhood there is a female infanticide, there is a some harassments in the society, women harassment, domestic violence. Because of this, at the childhood, they are having less life expectancy. And the next topic is this child sex ratio. This is also according to the 2011 census. You can also take the information from different websites, but I have mentioned about 2011 ratio itself. Sorry, census itself. According to 2011 census, child sex ratio has seen decline from 927 females per 1000 males in 2001. So it was 927 in 2001 census and it became 919 in 2011. It means the child sex ratio has declined. It showed a decline. Okay. Reasons of the son's preference can be there is a belief that son can perform last rites. He will be the lineage. He will have the continuity. He will have that inheritance of the property. There is a feeling that son is the person who looks after the parents in the older age, because women will leave the house after their marriage. Okay. And there is a feeling that men are the breadwinners, women will take care of the household chores. So because of all of this, um there is a decline in the child sex ratio. Now let's learn what are the consequences of these declining child sex ratio. There will be increase in violence against women because the number of female are less than the number of male. The violence against women gets increased, and the parents feeling that son is safe, so that son giving birth to son is very better than the woman because of the increase in harassments towards the women. So these are the reasons why even again and again parents are feeling to give birth to the male child rather than the female child. And female feticide is occurring because of the fear of rising men. They want to kill the female at the birth itself so that they will not have that pain during their adulthood. If they get harassed in the adulthood, the pain will be more than killing them in the childhood. So these are the feelings that Indian parents are having, as India is not safe for women. Okay. Commodification of women. Women are often treated as commodities. Like people are taking money, like whenever their marriage is occurring, dowry is given, right? Dowry is given to the male person, so they are treating as women as a commodities. There is a commodification of women that is increasing, and purchasing of brides from the poorer families or the poorer areas. And because of the decrease in the women, there is increase in work pressure for men. Okay. These are some of the consequences of declining child sex ratio. What is the health status of women? So, studies in hospital admissions and records have shown that males get more medical care compared to girls. Okay, comparing to female, male are getting more medical care. 2% of female population is absolutely anemic. 12% of female population of the country suffers from repeated pregnancy and lack of nutrition. So these are the self-explanatory terms because there is lot of data in this particular topic. Okay. And coming to the employment terms, of the total female population, 21.9% are a part of the Indian workforce. Majority of women are employed in the rural areas and in agriculture. Amongst rural women workers, 87% are employed in agriculture as laborers, cultivators, self-employed like hawkers, etc. In the unorganized sector, while almost always remain invisible. Despite the Equal Remuneration Act of 1976, women are paid lower wages, occupy lower skilled jobs, have less access to skill training and promotion. And coming to the political status, the India had a first woman prime minister, though it has the Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Nonetheless, women are not fairly represented in the parliament and other state and the local bodies. And you can see the 73rd and 74th the Constitutional Amendment Act have actually given the ensured the participation of women in the a Panchayati Raj institution with a reservation of one third for women. Today, more than 30 million women are actively participating in the political decision making process at the grassroots. This is a very good news, right? 73rd and 74th amendments are very much useful for the women point of view. So that is it for today's video. We have seen the status of women, the profile of women. Okay, we'll be seeing what are the reasons behind such a low status. Being according to women in India. Why such a low status is accorded to women in India? The reasons for them will be learnt in the next class. We'll be exploring the reasons in the social structure and the social processes characterizing the Indian society. We'll be leading about all of them, the caste structure and all in the next class. Okay, I hope you have liked the video. If you want to join the batch 2 of the test series, you can WhatsApp regarding the details of the test series to the Vaish IAS WhatsApp contact, that is 7200681675. I have also mentioned the email ID and WhatsApp number on the screen so that you can click a screenshot or write somewhere. Okay, if you liked the video, make sure you like. If you're a new one, do subscribe and watch other videos as well. Not only Indian Society, but there are many lecture series freely available in the Vaishai's YouTube channel. You can get access to them, watch them, and have benefit from them. And subscribe to our channel, give a feedback. Okay, that is what you can do for us. Thank you everyone. Keep smiling. Let's meet with another video in the next class. Until then, take care. Bye bye.